All right, welcome to Chapters of Life with Caroline Kandusi, aka CK. Today, I'm opening a chapter which is very dear to me. So, for those who know me or don't know me, my full-time work is giving grants to organizations which are transforming change across Africa. And therefore, I always get an opportunity to meet the most amazing, most inspiring social transformers, and I call them the faces of transformation. So today in this episode, I'm joined by Ayanna Kimaro, an amazing lady. She's the mother, she is a wife, she's a sister, she's a friend, but on top of it all, she's a young woman leader and the Chief Impact Director at ABC Impact Arusha. For me and for my viewers, we would love to take this moment and introduce our guest for today, Ayanna Kimaro. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining Chapters of Life with Caroline.
Thank you
I am
for having
super
me.
honored to have you here today.
Thank you for having me, Asante.
So for people who don't know you, and as much as I've introduced you with a bit that I know, who is Ayanna Kimaro?
I think you really have said a lot about me already. But just to add on, I think when somebody asks me about who I am, first and foremost, it's come to the very center part of my faith. So my identity comes from Christ, and I'll say I'm a child of God. And this also aligns with the purpose. I believe strongly God has placed me in this world for a very special and specific purpose to be able to attain it. And and in that process, then he made me a wife. I'm a mother, as you have mentioned, and currently I am a Chief Impact Director at ABC Impact.
Wow. I do love everything about purpose. I think something which stands out for me whenever we talk about purpose is think about a simple thing like this glass, which you're using to tap water. If you have a glass and then it has holes and then this water drops, it means this glass is not serving a purpose. So I'm always super excited when I meet a person who is very intentional about living out their purpose, meaning that they know they were created for a reason and they exist for a reason. All right, but just back a bit on your journey. I met you through different avenues, but I think one that inspires me the most is the work that you're doing, and that's why I thought you were a perfect guest as we are introducing to Tanzanians and to the world, different phases of transformation in Tanzania. So I'm so curious about your journey and your leadership journey, because one thing which I know for sure, unlike so many youth who are complaining about youth unemployment and are complaining about growth in their career, you're one person that the moment I knew you were coming out of the university and few years in, you are already a Chief Impact Director with a big organization which is working across Tanzania. So I'm just so curious, and I'm sure people who are watching us are also curious. What are some of the traits that you think have enabled you to achieve what you have achieved?
Thank you. That's a very beautiful question. And it really brings back memories, I'd say. So my leadership journey has come all along the way, I'd say, reminds me of home. So I grew up from a family of a father, grandmother, and a grandfather. So like 80% of my life has been with that family. And while growing up, my dad actually gave me an opportunity to actually lead the family. And also because of so many back reasons and family dynamics, all that. So I was also at times required to step up for my father, to step up for my grandparents, and even being involved into different sessions of decision making at a very, very young age. I would sit with very elder people and be involved and speak up when even my father couldn't speak up. And so, but then I think a moment I would specifically like to highlight is when I really discovered this particularly style of leadership that I felt God was calling me to, was when I was in my ordinary level. So at ordinary level, we had to select clans. So first I used to take science, and then also I had to choose between French and choose between French and computer. Then I opted for French because I thought, well, I have some skill for computer. And so I decided to learn something which at least I don't know. And then with clubs, I was really moved to join Good Samaritan Club. And so I was being able actually to be selected to be a treasurer in the club. And so Good Samaritan Club was a club that we really used to focus to attend serving people and visiting orphanages and different needy groups and try to help them with the little that we had. And so that's already stirred up the passion. And then it went all the way now to uni, where I did join a group where we used to attend different orphanages in Arusha, and we used to help people. And later I was elected to be a Minister of Foreign Affairs, where I was serving, this was around 5,000, I would say, youth in Institute of Accountancy, Arusha. But then with time now, I had to step up and I contested to be vice president of the Institute of Students Organization. That was really a big one for me because this was not being selected, it was contesting. So there were competition. And at times when I was like, God, if this is what you want for me, please may I make it through. It was that tough. And really, I did make it. And then that was, for me, I highlighted, yes, okay, so this is what God is calling me to. And so with the leadership in uni, I had to practice a lot of skills involved planning, reaching out to get different influencers to come and speak to the students. And then I had to again involve in decision making. So it was us organization serving the students, but also involving with the management and pushing and voicing, become the voice of the students to the management. And so yes, that was my journey. And so my journey went along, and I think there was Corona in between, COVID, and again I had an opportunity to serve with one of my best amongst the best organization, Digital Opportunity Trust, where I was leading as the Northern lead leader. So Arusha. So I was first overseeing other leaders, but then also leading within my zone. So with Digital Opportunity Trust, we used to equip the communities with digital skills. That really also did shape in me. And with time, I was able to join ABC Impact. And while I was training ABC Impact, because I remember only one person with the team and then having one program running at the moment. But now, as we speak, ABC Impact has really grown. We have quite a big team with us. We have all programs running, and now we are even thinking of a way to really, really expand in terms of impact-wise. I think people may be wondering, what is ABC Impact?
Absolutely.
So ABC Impact is a non-profit organization. We have a very broad vision. Our vision is to have a healthier, a more educated, and prosperous Tanzania. And at the moment, our organization really uses bicycle as an impact tool. But then for the future, we really are looking forward to have a very holistic approach. And we have currently focusing at, say, the quick thematic areas, so education, health, and livelihoods. And so with ABC Impact, one of the very, very passionate, as I mentioned, was program that we do, that I found it running by then, but then not to that extent, was Bike to School, where we provide bicycles to students who walk long distances to school. They walk more than 10 kilometers to and from school. And with young girls, this is even more challenging because they do incur other challenges along the way. And again, they have household responsibilities, and so this really become a challenge. It does jeopardize their education. Yeah. And so we have a current also other program that is Bikepreneur, that has really bring together different other organizations. So we have different two other local organizations that we have partnered with. And so they bring the innovation aspect, they bring entrepreneurship aspect, and we bring the bicycles concepts in between. And so we equip the youth with all this, holistic approach. And so really the future of this youth is very exciting, because at the end they'll be able to employ themselves, they'll be able to have capital to start their own businesses, they'll be able to again practice the innovative ideas and become change makers and transformative within their societies. So that is ABC Impact in a nutshell. But I look forward to share more about it as we proceed with the conversation.
Wow, I can just tell, from the energy which I'm getting with the passion that you have for your work. But I think what is also really, really outstanding for me is the power of the family and the power of schools and spaces we are into and how they can shape the outcome of a person. So if a university is providing opportunity for growth, then a person potentially grows. And if a university is sort of lacking behind, then chances are people get out of there and they're clueless on what to do, sometimes then asking the government to provide for them jobs. Yeah, I think that is wise. It's something which we all can take away. And I hope if we have counselors who are chancellors who are listening to this, they may get a thing or two on what they can do. So something which I'm very also curious just to find out about you is you have gone through change recently. Change in growing the organization, which is amazing for the impact, but also your personal life change. And I think that is one of just the hardest thing for a young person, a young woman. How do you navigate change? What are some of the tools and skills that you can share which can help other people who are going through big life transitions, new jobs, new families, starting families, new friendships, and all these other things? So what have been the things that ground you as you're making this decision?
Thank you, Caroline. Well, with sharing tools, I normally would say that every person's life is different. This all comes from how God has created us. There's no one who can be Ayanna, even if we have to have names. There's no one who can be Caroline, even if you had a twin. So I believe while we share tools, it is important to listen but not copy them. I think they just need to claim you, but then not don't have to copy and cut them, because it may not really work the way it have worked for me.
Yeah.
But then so I would say, well, there's a story that I'm reminded of, a hungry baker. So the story goes that he bakes loaves, he bakes mandazi, but then he suffers from hunger. And so I normally would check myself that I'm not a hungry baker, that with my work, I'm really passionate about it. I would love to serve. With my family, there are times I want to serve. I'm also, as you said, a sister, I'm a friend. So these all areas with my personality, I would like to give. But then what if I'm giving again, from a dry cup, or I'll say like a hungry baker, like I have this or possible resources to help me first, but then I'm busy giving out and now I'm on a negative. So I make sure first it's important that I check in, and then the tool I would apply first for me, faith really does recharge me a lot. So it comes with worship, being at church, listening to the word. And in the lately days, I was really trying to hinder myself. While I'm church, I don't again serve, because now I'm there to receive so I can be able to pour onto others. Yes, so church and faith, and really staying close with the Holy Spirit and getting to know Him, connecting, making sure that He leads me. That is the very important tool for my recharging. But it's hard to say. I try to find a balance. I think I just make sure that I don't run out, like my charge is not off.
Yeah.
So I get fuel through faith, and then on the opportunity that I can serve, I serve. But then I don't want also it to become out of habit. Aside work, I really tried putting in different hats that I wore. I try not to just do it because I can do it. I really try to be, I think Holy Spirit really does help me to make sure I called at this particular moment to do this. I know Caroline, and I would like to be with Caroline. I would like to maybe exchange 1, 2, 3. But then is Holy Spirit guiding me to be with Caroline or be with my new baby? Is He calling me to really go out, and now I can really go for maybe a birthday, but then do I have to be with my husband, or really I just have to go because I have a friend? Trying to make sure that is it the right thing to do at that time.
Yeah.
So with that, I really don't run out. Yeah.
So now you have more reasons to be more Holy Spirit led so that you have some sort of a guide which can give you peace, because you have multiple things which are pulling for your attention, and then you have to find, like, what is the priority and what is calling into your heart for you to do at that given time. No, I think that is really, really, really beautiful. I think women in balance is one of the hardest lessons. Yeah, so Ayanna, as we are almost coming to a close of our conversation, I have something called 3, 2, 1. Number 1 is, what are the 3 values that drive your everyday personal and professional life?
So my core values are faith, integrity, and service above self.
Oh wow, I love that. So God on top of everything, doing the right thing when no one is watching, and that's servanthood. Wow. Yeah. So the 2 questions. What are the 2 things that you wish you knew when you are 18 that could be of help now?
Thank you, Caroline. The things I wish I knew when I was 18. First, I think every day life's given an opportunity to make a step toward your purpose. So it's really important on how you really open your arms in receiving the opportunity. And somebody says sometimes the opportunity doesn't come, so you have to knock or you have to find the opportunity. So it's important to also, again, brings me to the second point, to be able to explore life and make sure that you live it to the fullest. Yeah, and again, I would say the last one would be making sure that you really take care of yourself and not become the hungry baker I mentioned before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew the same when I was 18 and I was all over the place, judging myself and things like that. Yeah, so from your leadership journey, from your personal values, I can already see that there is so much reflection, but also so much wisdom from the external forces and from the internal motivation. So my very last question is, what is one best advice that you've ever received out of very many throughout your life, which transformed how you view life and how you carry yourself?
That's a very, very deep and very beautiful question, Caroline. An advice I did receive, the best of the best, was with time, it all unfolds. And this was, during the most, challenging time. And my mentor was actually telling me that I should not give up, and time gives answers to so many things. So with time, everything does unfold, the beauty, the hard work, the passion, everything. Yeah.
Like a planter, you say, like when you put a seed down, it takes a bit of time for it to germinate and come. So yeah, I love that as well. So time. Amazing. Last but not least, a bonus question. Just because today I'm sitting with a face of transformation in Tanzania, you're leading change in our communities. I'm very curious, personally. Given a chance to meet Samia Suluhu Hassan for 5 to 10 minutes, what is one thing that you would love to advocate for?
So yes, if I had a chance to meet our president, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, to be quite an honor, and I'll advocate for more schools with the challenge that we at ABC Impact try to tackle each day of students walking long distances to school. I think one solution could be her investing schools in each village, and so they don't have to walk all the way to another 5th village to be able to get access to education. But also I will advocate for proper infrastructure that promote our well-being, because for a better nation, for a better livelihood, we need to be healthy, and bicycle is a great tool of change to that. We don't have proper infrastructure for people to ride through, but also, from the low economic class, people could have really saved a lot of money. Instead of using buses, they have to pay bus fare. They could just ride their bicycle to work and to their farms, to the different areas they have to do work, but also in regards to being able to get social services. So I also advocate on that. And the last one, perhaps on the policy would have organization or platform to have more women into leadership. so that we can continue the amazing work that she does as a woman, and so that our voices also to be heard. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Ayanna. It was really, really a pleasure and an honor to have you here just to hear about your leadership journey, the values that matter the most to you, your advice to the young people on how they can sort of try to thrive in their own leadership journey, plus your policy advocacy based on the work that you do. So in case people want to connect with you, how can they get connected with Ayanna? How, if they want to learn about your work, what are different ways that people can actually connect to you?
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you so much again for having me. It has really been amazing. I had fun throughout this whole recording time. And so how can you reach us? How can you reach ABC Impact? So yes, we are available. We are on social medias. We have Instagram account. We do have a Facebook account. We have TikTok. We do have X. So we are available on all these digital platforms. But also we do have a website that is www.abcimpact.r.tz. And every social media, you just have to look for ABC Impact. Those are social media handles. But in case you'd like to follow up and just check on me, my account is Ayanna Kimaro, ACK. So she's CK and I'm the ACK. Yes.
Oh man, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and so for our viewers and listeners, thank you for staying with us and thank you for listening to this episode. It is one among the so many other episodes which are coming your way. Keep on watching our YouTube page and keep on following us on all our social media. The social media is CKS Studio. This is where you'll see all the episodes which are being recorded. And just to remind you, today we were celebrating a face of transformation in Tanzania. And I do believe that this work is also for Africa and the world. Thank you so much, Ayanna Kimaro, for being with us. And thank you for our viewers for staying with us. Until next time, it's your host, CK.